Subscribe to and watch a heartbreaking, a horror story without the fear of being scared. Don't forget to press the icon of this story. Author Sanjay Kam. A large crowd of people was seen at the cremation ground. Everyone was standing. The middle-aged man took the thing in the middle and went away crying bitterly. Hey friend, Neha should not have been happy. Yes friend, she was the most beautiful in the show. It wouldn't have been nice if a beautiful girl had taken her own life. The people working with the dead girl were talking amongst themselves. I was doing it in front of me after washing my face. I was outside for 4 days at around 10 p.m. It was Nikhil was standing on the dilapidated wall of an old well, making a video call to someone on his mobile. Nikhil took a look. He threw it into the deep well. The water level inside the well was very low and it remained there at night. In the silence of the garbage seemed a little scary. The call was received. I told you that if you had given up my love, if you reject me, I will give up my life. Look at this deep well. If you still say no to my love, then tomorrow I will be your dead body. I had called to tell her that she would be found in the same well. Forgetting this, he pointed his mobile camera at her. Nikhil got a little scared after seeing that well on his mobile. This is the exact place where Nikhil recognized someone with confidence for 4 days. It doesn't matter, keep thinking about it after I leave. By the way, if he did not die by drowning in the water, then the black poisonous snake in that water inside the well. And I will die from a scorpion bite. I love you. And the phone sitting on my finger. He started waiting for her to do it, smiling a little. He looked at the moon shining in the sky. Seeing, he said that he is not in the habit of listening, and the ring of the mobile started to be heard. He called. Received it. His happiness knew no bounds. Manav Nikhil went crazy with joy. After talking for a while, he had just put the mobile in his pocket when Record Meet started looking around with a slight all Danny and deep silence spread all around as the ground around the well was covered in knee-length green grass. And there were bushes in which there were many poisonous snakes and scorpions, like this, near the well. The tamarind tree around which the trees grew was upon which death had come. Rahman, as the full moon came up a little and slowly started appearing behind the clouds, a strange fear settled in his heart. Suddenly a thought came to his mind, in the empty space near the city. So during the day, if no one comes or goes, then even at this late hour some woman's voice is probably mine. He must have been crying and had just explained to his heart that the same voice reached his ears again. And this time he heard the words hearty clearly, a woman's special voice in our job. I take your soul to the deep darkness of Cunner, listening to the voice of imagination there, the feet of man. The ground slipped from under him as he had come to pretend to give up his life, but upon hearing that woman's voice, his life seemed to get stuck in his throat. Because that frightening voice was coming from the deep, dark depths of the well, his eyes were drawn to the depths of the well. I was standing there when I saw some movement in the dark water of blood, as if someone. I am slowly trying to climb up the well wall and participating the. You guys heard the sound, and he climbed down the small wall and heard the echoing sound again. I'm coming here. In the dark. That's why Nikhil's heart sank with fear at the last step of Bharadwaj, India. He started moving back, and then he looked with fear at the small hole all around the well. The sound that was stuck on the wall was continuous, that when he put it in the song, he felt more. The next moment he saw someone waking up from the other side of the same broken wall. A woman with black hair clearly visible on her head, dark red kumkum on her white forehead, and the woman's half-formed face, as terrifying as the red stars, sent shivers down his spine. It became so intense that it felt like it was going to burst out of my chest. While slowly backing away, he slipped on a stone and fell to the ground. She was looking at that woman with her terrified eyes. Seeing that scene, Nikhil somehow. I started running away from there, falling as fast as I could and as far as I could. As he started running, he heard the woman screaming from behind and the laughter gradually subsides, and his heart rate increases due to the constant sprinting. It had been a week since he placed both his hands on his knees and started breathing, and he could not hear any sound. Couldn't hear it now. Today was immediate because with a little normal he behind. I saw it and it was like my head was bursting because it was built around the same well. He was standing on a small wall and the first woman in a white sari was standing near the same well. The woman, sitting with her legs spread out on a branch of a tamarind tree that protruded from above. On the other side was his thick black hair that ran down his stomach and reached towards his lower back. Varun, someone was hanging by the hair as if the hair was stuck like a noose around someone's neck. Fear. He was trying to see with his eyes wide open and due to darkness inside the well he could not see anything. Nikhil's eyes fell on the woman again. A light breeze blew away her white sari. Palu was going far away in the sky. Seeing this scary scene, Nikhil was shocked. She stopped talking and started gently tapping the branch of the tree with her long nails. She said while scratching, "You and your mother, I will follow you." Haridra's laughter started echoing continuously in his ears, making his mind go numb. He covered his face with both his hands. He closed his ears but fainted out of fear. When he regained consciousness, it was morning. My head was hurting so much that it was a dream and it really happened. Thinking, he took out his bike and left for home. Nikhil was not ready to stay out till late night. The family was aware of his habit of. Nikhil had reached the office after freshening up. That incident happened last night. Thinking the scary incident was a dream, he was already laughing and joking with everyone in the office. Came and everyone was sitting on their chairs and busy working. Then his eyes fell on the girl sitting in front of the computer, and from there, sitting on the chair, he said, "Come on Ria, say I love you once. Everything is fine. Please say it once." Ria had no other option. She came near his ears and said softly, "Yes, go. I love your soul in the darkest depths of hell, that leader." Her voice echoed in his ears and Nikhil's soul trembled. He immediately called Ria. When I looked around, it was not Ria but the same woman who was doing what the body had seen near the well. Nikhil's eyes widened as he saw him. He almost fell inside his cabin. Entered. Okay. Seeing this behavior, the entire staff was surprised, but the most surprised. Till the time we were separated, he was dying for me, but today he is scared to see me. It's been a week since the brain started to concentrate on all those things. The entire family was also worried. Friends. I have fun till late night and come home within 6 hours. It was, and his health was deteriorating day by day. Looking at him, it seemed as if he had not slept at night for a long time. But it was clearly visible on his face that he neither talked properly to anyone nor was in any mood for anyone. He answers the question with a look of discomfort on his face and teary eyes, lost in his thoughts. He would remain lost, and this was very difficult for him as he was not going to miss his breakfast in the morning from the eyes of his family members. Nikhil sat on his chair. His father, sitting in front, asked, "Nikhil son, what's the matter? Why do you look so worried? If you don't want to do this job, it's okay son, listen to your father and do it." Said quietly, "Papa, this is Raj's last secret." "What are you talking about?" in mother's voice. Looked for his son but was announced. This is why the black started appearing darker, and instead of the other Baal village, there was Goa, and she is locked going through the well. One should think about the house when but loudly. The hand hid and I stood rooted to the spot. Nikhil, what happened to Mayhawk? I thought it was a cockroach. Saying this, he picked up his office bag and left home for office but did not let his mother and father know. This behavior of hers seemed very strange. written after 2 days and will return by tomorrow evening, and subscribe and do something with your dad. He did not call any of his friends, and I did not meet Papa in connection with the went to meet Tamil well-wishers at. The tantric was sitting with both his eyes closed in front of the burning eyes. Mom and Dad sit in front of the tantric with folded hands but look at him with worried eyes. While opening the door, the tantric looked at both of them and said in his career voice. Hearing the words that it was too late, the mother started crying and she bowed her head before the tantric. She started crying and said, "Don't say this, I folded my hands in front of you." She laughed and said, "Save my son." The tantric heard the mother's painful voice. I performed Shanti Havan and started watching the fire. Both mother and father sat in the car and left for home. She had to save her son Nikhil. Her car was moving fast on a deserted road through the forest. Mother was holding her hand, adding, "I was praying to God to save my son while he is driving." Papa called Nikhil but he could not get the call. That night Nikhil was sitting on the bed in his room at around 9:30 p.m. The children were sitting on the wall opposite the bed, shrinking their weight and sitting at an angle. Clock bulb continues to look at the growing losses. The sound of the time -2 hours and Nikhil was sitting with his eyes fixed on the hands of the clock. It was quite late at 12 in the night. In the midst of the deep silence, a strange sound was heard coming from the window. I blew a window into his mind like a gust. So this is what I wrote after all, but they were really closed, and then it's fearful eyes inside the room, sometimes on the floor, sometimes on the ceiling fan, sometimes on the closed door. She started swimming and then she heard the same voice saying, "Come, I will take your soul, I will send you into the deep darkness of hell," and that heartbreaking laugh. The sound of the street on the wall slowly grew louder in the silence of the building. I covered my ears with both hands, turned off the gas and hid my neck under my knees. Subscribe. Unbearable, but slowly that scary sound started to subside, and then bass everything calmed down. Slowly opened my eyes and removed my hands from over my ears. Give silence. A deep scary silence had spread inside his room, so much silence in front of him. He could clearly hear the sound of the clock hanging on the wall at Review's illegal china on the other side. He was someone's. He realized it was happening, and when he turned his eyes, he saw the same woman sitting on the other side of the bed. "Do it. Let me take your soul to the pitch-black darkness of hell." And in another jargon, a person from outside his room door ran towards Tawaji shouting loudly, "Agar Kimari." He opened the door and came out, but Manav ran towards his house as if someone was chasing him. I left it and arrived home at around 1 a.m. in the car. The door was open, and Nikhil was not at home. Mother was crying and in a bad state. Father was in the city, worried. Don was driving the car that night. I had to listen to Nikhil's face. His eyes had turned red. Neha came in front of his eyes and the films of love were standing, but this essence from her, holding Neha's neck. Nat said that it is not a habit for me, and he quickly threw Neha into the well. That night Neha's eyes looked into the deep dark well for some time. The scene kept echoing in Nikhil's ears and then calmed down. Brothers, the scene before Nikhil's eyes. The player came forward and was slowly dropping everything into the well with the help of a heavy rope. It became clear that the woman wrapped around Nikhil's neck was not Rainy, but the same woman with thick black hair. And he swayed his head back and forth on the branch of the tamarind tree that passed over you. She was sitting in the breeze, the palu of her sari in the sky, bye-bye to endure. And while gently caressing her long nails, she started saying, "Marg hill that needs flower." The strange laughter present in the desolate night. From the sound of Cardu started echoing in the silence. Let AJ know if you liked this story. Subscribe to our Instagram and Facebook page. If you have any such story, please let us know in the comment box. Send it and we will try to make the next animated story yours.